Want to see the fully final constructed robot at Preasure Plant before it fights the polar bear monster? Hit the like and subscribe button right now. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video here on my channel. So ever since the last video we made in regards to progression or ultimately developing toward the final Season 9 live event, we have implemented to the stage production of the robot, the torso region. Also now, the production or the propaganda posters from the files have been implemented and are flashing around the map as seemingly these warning signs. In today's video, despite these processes being made towards developing or unfolding the Season 9 live event, we do not have in-game the fully constructed robot as of now. Note how I mentioned in-game there because we've had a ton of leaks and a ton of theories pointing towards the full production or the fully revealed robot and what this will actually look like, especially the head that will shock a lot of you guys. So make sure you're sticking around and watching the full video today because we've got a ton of information to go over that you guys will definitely not want to miss out on. Very quickly, I'd just like to disclaim before we get into any of that information that, guys, we're so close right now to 500,000, 500,000 subscribers. So everybody new to the channel or perhaps not subscribed, if you hit the big red button right now and turn on post notifications, you could be considered an OG by the time we hit 500k and also speed up this process. I'm also currently running right now until July 20th, 2019 a free 2800 V-Bucks giveaway that you guys can either spend on item shop cosmetics, anything you desire, or the Season 10 battle bundle from saving them. Here's how you guys can have a chance to win on that date. All you need to do is leave a like in this video down below, subscribe to the channel with the post notification bell turned on so you never miss a future upload when I upload whatever I upload, and actively use code FRIENDTHEMACHINE in the item shop. Make sure you're checking every day to see if this is automatically reset as it does every now and then, and re-enter it, and the creator code in case you guys happen to forget it at any point of watching this video will remain in the top left hand corner so you guys don't then have to go ahead and rewind the video to enter it. Anyways, with all that out of the way now, let's get into our first piece of information, ultimately determining when and what the next pieces or stages of development to the robot's construction are. It seems Fortori in his tweet that he tweeted out a few days ago was completely right so far in determining when the next stages would be implemented and what they are. For example, the torso was implemented on July 8th and it stated this in tweet form. There are also future dates to come, stating different parts will be constructed onto the robot, however we just have to wait and see. Including all the stages of which would contain a fully constructed robot, for example, the hands or the head even. We know that these next stages will most likely be implemented to the files upon Epic Games returning to office from their vacation after the 14 days of summer event ends within fortnight. The reason we know this is because the most things are implemented into the files upon a downtime update, and obviously they can't perform a downtime update, create downtime, shut the servers off if they're not in office to do so, as they're on vacation currently, like as just mentioned, until the end of the 14 days of summer event. Even though this is the case and we have yet to wait until the next downtime update to be revealed to the next stages of construction toward the fully final form of this robot, we actually have teased in the map this whole time what the head of the robot, which ultimately everybody wants to know, will be. Now this is just a theory as of now, but ultimately makes sense considering the wacky things that Fortnite like to put into their game. Giant rubber ducky that has 1,000,000 health or something crazy like that to be dealt in order to destroy will make its way from moving as it is every day all the way up until the top of Preasure Plant and become the head of the robot, as you can see in today's thumbnail. Now I know this is completely ridiculous and ultimately doesn't make sense in terms of this actually physically being possible, but when did Fortnite ever care about catering towards something that's physically possible? I mean, we had this giant cube literally climbing over mountains and stuff, making its way to Loot Lake, then sinking in under it and then exploding from making this island hoist up into the air almost as if it was just hovering and floating. This may be the reason why the head isn't included in the files as of now, because they ultimately want to throw us off in terms of when or what it will be upon being implemented. Another reason we know, despite this being a completely ridiculous theory, it being largely possible that the rubber ducky could be the head of the Doggers robot coded, or codenamed in the files rather, is because of the fact we saw live events building up to a live event last season. For example, the movement of these runes, ultimately defined by our damage dealt to them as a community. And obviously they took their time as a whole to reach their destination of Loot Lake upon all sitting in each allocated position, actually opening the vault. This case applies to the rubber ducky, which seemingly is going in the direction right now of Preasure Plant and has made its way so far all the way upstream from Lucky Landing, up a waterfall, and now on top of Loot Lake seems to be heading even more so toward Preasure Plant yet again. Despite this season being extended predominantly because of the World Cup, who's to say that this live event, or the build-up of which, isn't extended also? Because Epic, as of recently anyways, have shown that they like to implement this live event to conclude off a season and make it memorable, to then transfer to basically make sense of what's happening in that next seasonal trailer. The reason I say this is because as of May 4th, 2019, the volcanic eruption event or unvaulting event occurred, which was 5 days before the release of Season 9. Upon the volcanic eruption occurring, it destroyed several named locations around the map, Polar Peak, Retail Row, and Tilted Towers, obviously getting revamped in whatever way, despite Polar Peak just remaining cracked. 5 days after that, in the Season 9 trailer, they then led off from this event, ultimately also showing it, to then unfold or start the storyline of Season 9. With this in mind, could this be the case for this event that we're seeing now? The construction of the robot, even despite it already nearly being fully built, like I said before, with 22 days left of this season, because of the fact upon its full construction, despite the head, with the arms, obviously the biceps, the forearms and the hands being implemented, this headpiece still needs to make its way, if it is the rubber ducky, all the way up to Preasure Plant, which may take longer than we may think. As everybody knows by now in the community, the construction of this robot to fight the Polar Peak monster that's inevitably going to destroy our island is going to be the biggest live event that ever occurs throughout Fortnite's history. And live events in-game only ever occur on a Saturday. There are only 3 Saturdays left in mention of Season 9, however, so this date could fall on either one of them. The Saturdays left in mention, all 3, are July 13th, 20th, and 27th. So out of these 3, which one is most likely to be the date of which all of this mass destruction or this fight between these 2 giant things unfolds on? If we reflect back on Fortori's tweet of the stages of which parts or construction will occur for this robot's development, it definitely determines that the 13th is out of the equation, because a part is implemented or constructed or said to be done on the robot on the 14th, ultimately making it not complete for this final event or live event for Season 9 to unfold. We then have the 20th of July, which ultimately would kind of make sense or have enough time to then prepare the full robot, seemingly anyways, if this rubber ducky isn't the head, because I think it'll take longer to reach Preasure Plant if it actually is the head, and if this is the case, the rubber ducky being the head part of this robot.
Ξέρεις, ήθελα να σου πω πως κάθε φορά που σε βλέπω...
But ultimately, this is not the only factor in determining why it won't be July 20th but the 27th. As just previously mentioned, the recent live event occurred literally within days of the release of the new season, ultimately linking the live event and the next seasonal trailer together, ultimately flowing through each other. For this reason, the 27th, literally like 4 days before the release of Season 10, would make sense for this to unfold on, considering they then can link this event, integrate it, or basically go off it in the Season 10 trailer to ultimately show us how everything has happened or has unfolded or changed since this finale event. Not only does the 27th make sense most likely for this event to unfold on for everybody to witness or even participate in, fighting off the Polar Peak monster on the robot's side, because of the fact, well, everything we've just mentioned, it also makes sense considering at this time the World Cup will be an ongoing event, and many people may think, well, they won't have 2 big things clashing together because they want attention focused on each individual one, ultimately to not divide this attention in the community from the competitive scene, and ultimately how the map's changing. But what you have to consider is many people during the volcanic eruption event didn't get to see it occur, including myself, because the game glitched out live within the game, so the event did not unfold for many, and obviously it only happens once. So if you miss that unfolding once, you can never see it live within game yourself again. With Epic Games making a note of that, and obviously not wanting to screw up the live event for this season, the biggest live event we're ever going to see, they could screen it live upon it happening and unfolding between matches in the World Cup livestream for the World Cup final. This would not only eliminate the problem of it not unfolding in-game for certain people because of the fact so many people are trying to attend it and it bugging out the servers or anything, but it also allows people around the world, whether they're, not near their homes, not near their consoles, or any form of thing that they can play Fortnite on, to actually witness the event when it actually happens in real time. This would then avoid the problem of Epic Games having to reacquaint people or recompensate them for actually trying to attend an event in-game, or, basically putting time aside to do so, with cosmetics or V-Bucks, just like they did for the Season 9 event with the Arcana Glider, or V-Bucks equivalent if you already bought it. With this said also, despite just pleasing everybody all around in the best possible scenario, this ultimately could be the best move in terms of marketing that Fortnite could actually go ahead and actually run with. Because of the fact the World Cup final will be a huge event, and this event itself happening live and in-game will be even more huge maybe. Connecting the two will only create more hype for the game and ultimately market Season 10 in a more positive or more exciting manner. Anyways, with that said, in terms of everything we've gone over in today's video, I'd love to know your theories, opinions and thoughts on it all in the comment section down below. Do you think the rubber ducky, upon making its way to Preasure Plant, will sit as the head of this robot, or do you think it'll be something else? Also, when do you guys think the live event will unfold itself, and what date this exactly will be? If you enjoyed today's video also, or found it interesting or helpful, then make sure you're leaving a like on it down below. This way, if you perhaps want to re-watch it to gather more information or perhaps reinterpret it, it's saved in a very easy to access playlist. Last but not least, in case you guys aren't subscribed and are considering to do so, then make sure you're hitting the big red button down below, because we're going to be updating you as soon as new information is released in regards to the development of this live event and leaks regarding what's going to be included throughout Season 10 itself. Hopefully I can see you guys in the future videos to come by, recognising you from staying active in the comment section, and I'm out. Have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Have a good one, take it easy, and as always,